first question to you is, has the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code achieved its objective?
Yeah, the IBC code came in 2016. I think the Act has served the purpose, but it's still at the nascent stage. It's the initiation of a new legislation, jurisprudence is coming, and the complete system has changed. Though with regard to the infrastructure, we don't have those many judges. The appointment of judges on the NCLT is a process that's taking time. So maybe that's affecting the implementation of the code. But overall, if you ask me, it's a great breakthrough, and the Act is achieving the purpose for which it was formulated.
So what do you think, what more can be done?
That's what I said. Look, as far as we need more judges to be the judges on the NCLT, that's from where everything starts. And today, some of the NCLT, some of the benches in the country are facing a problem because we don't have enough judges. And yes, second, I think about the quality of judges that we have, because there's a time frame in the Act. If that time frame is adhered to, then ultimately the implementation of the Act, the object will be achieved. But the problem is, since we have less number of judges now, so in effect we are not able to comply with the time frame within which there has to be a resolution, all in all. I think that's where the first major roadblock is, what I think. The rest, things seems to be okay. Things are coming up well.
Sir, as we talked about appointment of judges, so what do you think, who is responsible for this problem?
We're a country of 1.2 billion people. I know there's a system in place. There's been a lot going between the judiciary and the executive, and there has been a lot of discussion about the collegium system, the NJAC. But at the end of the day, if you ask me who's responsible, ultimately it's the system. But in this case, it's the government which has to come forward. And this is a legislation which was brought by the government. And now to achieve the objective, I think government has to come forward and appoint good, competent judges who can make sure that we have resolutions in place at the right time.
Do you think government is not more ready to accept the more judges, like they see, like even if you talk about NJSC, National Judicial Appointment Commission, and after that Supreme Court struck it down, and after that Kiran Rijiju episode that happens. How do you see this whole episode?
I don't want to comment on what the law minister said, but if you ask me, being a part of the system, being a lawyer practicing, being an officer of the court, I feel that was quite disturbing for a law minister to say what he said, things maybe against the judiciary or about some cases. Wasn't required, if you ask me. But at the same time, there were some comments made about the collegium system. You talked about the NJC. NJC was long stuck off. And you must have read in the newspaper also, last couple of days there's been coming, Justice Ointon said, it is the best system available. It has its fallacies as well, but under the circumstances that we have, and I also second that view, and I also believe that collegium system, if you ask me today, is the best system to have more judges.
But what about that people say that this system is so opaque, not transparent, and judges are giving favor to their own friends or their own people?
No, look, there's competence as well, right? But at the same time, at this point, if you ask me, there's a lot of back and forth that goes between the government and the collegium as well. So there's a IB report when a judge's name is recommended. There are other reports which are taken care of, and ultimately names are recommended by the collegium, which is headed by the Chief Justice of the High Court. If you talk about the recruitment or appointment of judges in the High Court is concerned, it's the Chief Justice and the other judges. They know about the competence of a lawyer whom they are elevating, or they know about the competence of the other judges who they are promoting as a High Court judge. So all in all, if you ask me, as I said before, that this is a system which has been in place for a long time. Obviously, it might have, and it does have a some shortcomings as such. But all in all, if you ask me, under the circumstances, this is the best system that we can have. In order to have independence of judiciary as well, because too much of interference by the government would ultimately mean that you are compromising with the independence of the judiciary.
Okay. So my next question is on accountability. Like, we have government and we elect them after 5 years. But what is the accountability for the judiciary? how we can help see the accountability of judiciary and judges? Like there are a lot of pending cases, and there are a lot of talks about their vacation and all.
I know we are on a vacation as well right now. But look, we have 1.2 billion people. And India must be the largest, India must be a country where we have the largest number of cases pending on the court. But at the same time, it's commensurate, it's equivalent to the population that we have. And look, our legal justice system is accessible. We do not have here a system of putting up costs. If somebody brings in a wrongful action, if somebody brings in a false case, then we do not have a system here that there can be a heavy cost imposed, so that that act as a deterrent. If you see other jurisdictions, that is there. That ultimately, if a false case is brought up, there may be costs which may be very heavy. But in order to make the whole system, judicial system, accessible to a poor man, right, this system of cost is not there, and intentionally not there. So you can't blame the judiciary for the pendency of the cases. The number of judges, the Indian courts and the Indian judges, I have experience of the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court. The number of cases which are being every day handled by these constitutional courts is exemplary. How do you expect one judge to take care of 70 cases every day? And you know, those cases have to come every day, 5 days a week. And regarding vacations, look, this system has been in place and ultimately the system needs a breather as well. There's nothing wrong with the vacation. We have vacation judges. If there's some matter of urgent nature, courts are still hearing the matters, whether it's the Delhi High Court or the Supreme Court. So all in all, I do not think so. It's too much of what is being said about the vacations which the system has. But if you ask me, ultimately it's all mental hard work, and the system needs a break as well.
Yes, sir. Sir, my next question is on infrastructure. Many times CJI and judges have questioned about the infrastructure problem of courts. How do you see that?
Look, we have a great Chief Justice right now, Justice Chandrachud. I think everybody is looking upon him, and if I'm an advocate on record, I'm so happy with the system that has been put up in the Supreme Court. It's completely gone online, and our Chief Justice is every day saying that all courts have to go online. Recently, in the Delhi lower court also, there's a notification which has been made by the Delhi High Court, wherein it has been made compulsory to have online hearings, and you need not give a reason to be appearing online. So that's a great system. Delhi High Court has adopted it. We are on the process of e-filing as well. Delhi High Court is completely on e-filing, paperless. Same as with Supreme Court. So things are being done at the infrastructure level as well. But at the same time, I think judiciary requires that support from the government as well. And it obviously requires funds. So yes, things are being done. Obviously, pace may not be that much, but I think we are on the right track.
Sir, my last question is on accessibility. Like we talk a lot about Supreme Court is all about elitism. Like they say, elite people sit there, elite people go there. How we can make the apex court of India accessible to common people?
It's still accessible. You have cases.
It's more about expensive lawyers are there. You need to hire a lawyer. Common man cannot afford.
I know there are top lawyers in the country who are there. Obviously, there are big commercial matters that are going on. But there are others, so many lawyers. We have so many law graduates. We have so many advocates on record. Every year you see there's a news coming up. 200 lawyers have cleared the AOR exam. There are otherwise so many new lawyers, so many upcoming lawyers which are coming up. And I know you're right, the cost is the question when you want to engage the best. But the rest, I know it is available, but you're right, there's a cost factor to it. But if you say it's not accessible, I don't agree with that. It's completely accessible. And there are lawyers who are doing the matters for a lesser fee as well. If you ask me, somebody comes up to me and the matter is matter in the Supreme Court, I'll be happy to do that matter, irrespective of the fees that the client offers. We also see at times that what is the pocket of that client which allows him. So I know everybody is not the same, but all in all, if you ask me, it's accessible.
Yes, sir. One more question, sir. As you are the right person to ask, how do you see the idea of, as we are a very huge country, how do you see the idea of having branches of Supreme Court in different parts of country? Like we talk about all this, like it's in New Delhi, people
Our
have to go
chief
there.
has really answered this question many times. It's made online. You can access the Indian Supreme Court from anywhere, I think now in the world. We have Mr. Harish Salve appearing every day in Supreme Court from London. Right? So all in all, now that question of benches, I do not think so at all makes sense. The top court of the country, we have a history attached to it, and there's a system in place. Lawyers sitting in Bombay, lawyers sitting in Kochi can access the Supreme Court. They can appear online, and judges are forthcoming these days. They are not saying that they are not allowing somebody to appear online. And we have a great system in place, which is evolving, and I think this conversation has to end now.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Nice talking to you.